Hello everyone and welcome back. I am as always Inquisitor Aura and this is How to Roleplay in World of Warcraft, and today we are going to be taking a look at the Blood Elven Mages. Please note that these are just generally accepted guidelines to socially acceptable and lore-friendly roleplay in World of Warcraft. There is a niche for every type and style of roleplay out there. What I am telling you here are the generally accepted guidelines that will not get you ridiculed. The Cinderay have, over the course of their many years of study and solitude, become the unmitigated masters of the arcane. While humans undoubtedly have a gift for magic, their decidedly shorter lifespans and considerably more fragile minds leave them wanting. Magic is the lifeblood of the Blood Elves and their society, and stems from a history of arcane mastery nearly as old as Azeroth itself. And one of the first things we really need to recognize when we're talking about both Blood Elves and Mages is that Blood Elven society, as it is now, is largely run by the Magister's Council, an autocratic and arguably totalitarian regime. As a mage, chances are you sit on this council or know someone who does. Silvermoon is very much an autocratic magocracy. It is run by mages, known as magisters or magistrixes, who have eyes and ears everywhere in the form of arcane guardians who keep the peace with unthinking force. And unless you are a mage, you are unlikely to hold power in Silvermoon. Any noble house in Kel'Thalas had a mage at its head at one point in time. Despite your people's very hedonistic ways, you understand the consequences of the power you have spent your life mastering. Ancient Blood Elven families still tell stories about how magic nearly brought the world to its knees. To this end, all magisters are very careful with their use of magic. Yes, it is simple to say that most Blood Elven spellcasters can't cross a room without using magic, but there is a precision to their gift. Centuries of practice and study, both within the once protected walls of Kel'Thalas and the significantly less well-guarded Dalaran, have given Blood Elven mages plenty of time to hone and perfect their spellcasting. And regardless of what the other races of Azeroth might think about their own magical prowess, like the humans and the recently rediscovered splinter group of the Highborn, you are the Master Mages. Remember, without you, humans would never have been taught magic. You are the ones who taught the first 100 human magi. And the new Highborn, as they are styling themselves, have likely forgotten most of what they once knew, and certainly have lost much of their power since the destruction of the Well of Eternity. And any Night Elves learning to become mages now are learning from these weakened Highborn or the humans of Dalaran. Now here's where things start getting interesting, as Blood Elven society is a known magocracy, and Lor'themar Theron is not a mage. And this is likely a problem for you. As the self-styled Regent Lord of Kel'Thalas, Lor'themar has led the Blood Elves alongside Grand Magister Romath and Halduran Brightwing, the current Ranger General, and has been leading your people since Prince Kael'thas's betrayal. The Blood Elves, while still smarting from Kael's utter betrayal of your people and everything that you stood for, remember his father, an Asterian Sunstrider who wisely led you for many years. The Sunstrider bloodline has been the leader of your kind since the exile and your first forays into the newly created Eastern Kingdoms. Also, Lor'themar doesn't come from a particularly noble line or political background. While he heeds the wisdom of Grand Magister Romath, both an archmage in his own right and leader of the Magister's Council, his not being a mage could be seen as the start of a significant political change amongst the Blood Elves. And despite popular opinion, it is possible for you to be an archmage. While it is a title created by the humans of the Kirintor, many Blood Elves have earned it. Grand Magister Romath for one, as well as Aethys Sunreaver. That being said, many Blood Elves who once served the Kirintor, Aethys himself was a member of the Council of Six, now find themselves at odds with the human-dominated mage faction. Phelan Songweaver's betrayal and the resultant destruction of Theramore sent the once neutral Jaina Proudmoore into a rage, where she banished the Blood Elves who would leave Dalaran and imprisoned those who would not. Jaina's actions post-Theramore and in response to Garrosh Hellscream's machinations with the Divine Bell have left a very sour taste in the mouths of many Blood Elf Magisters. But with the Legion's coming invasion, it may be important for both sides to set aside their differences. Now let's get into some role-playing tips for Blood Elven Mages. And the first thing that you need to think of when you're playing both the Blood Elf and especially as a Blood Elf Mage is that yes, you are in fact better than even your non-Magister brothers and sisters in Silvermoon. Magic is the lifeblood, the coin and currency of Silvermoon. Your people left, accepted exile from their original home because they were unwilling to sacrifice use of arcane magic, which was very much a part of their cultural identity. Magic is who the Blood Elves are. No other race on Azeroth is so defined. So it makes sense that a society who thrives on magic would place magic users in a higher social caste. Blood Elf Mages inhabit the highest tier of Silvermoon society, higher than Warlocks, higher than Priests, higher than Blood Knights, and certainly higher than those tree-hugging Farstriders. And while you don't have to be old to play a good Blood Elven Mage or Magister, you likely are. Remember, it takes a long time to master magic the way that you have. A novice isn't going to be as powerful as a magister, and because the elves age so slowly, there's next to no reason not to be a couple of centuries old. Also, magisters are voted into the Magister's Council. No one is going to vote for a young person. Long life often means a long view of the world, and with the Blood Elves this is no exception, and the Blood Elves are especially fond of planning for the long term. But the good thing is that the Sunwell is back, and it has made your life considerably easier. Remember that the Sunwell's destruction nearly obliterated what remained of the Blood Elves after the Scourge invasion, and with its reignition returned your endless supply of magic. Remember, the Sunwell was created with water from the Well of Eternity. And while you will never completely recover from what you had to do between the Sunwell's destruction and its reignition, you are much better off now than you had been during those terrible, terrible years. Blood Elven Mages are the pinnacle of what all other mages aspire to. Over the course of their long and storied history, the Magisters of Silvermoon have faced horrific circumstances and come out on top, proving that their mastery of magic is second to none. Well, that is going to be it for me for this week. Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember, if you like what you see and you want to see more, don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to comment below. Don't forget to tell your friends, and don't forget to subscribe. I put out videos once a week on a fairly rotating schedule. If you have made a suggestion in the past, please stand by. I promise you I have it written down and I am working on it. That being said, I accept and want more suggestions for things that you guys would like to see on my channel. So feel free to comment below on any of my videos or send me a message on Facebook, and I will make sure that I get to it at some point in time in the near to distant future. Soon. Trademarked. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a great week, have a great weekend, and we will see you again in Azeroth.